Hey ratbags, it's Jade. Today I've got something pretty special to show you. More leaks. Obviously back in the day I've gone through every kind of leak going ever since I was the first person to show everyone the underwater laboratory, from the dev build to the quiet armor sets to crossbows to black ant armor, and of course to the mantis that got added. I've been hopefully there to show you guys first, with the help of obviously data miners and some really great people in the grounded community. So today we've got something pretty special. I've got like maybe 30 brand new images of cut content, possibly future content, who knows. And given that we know the next update's coming obviously in December, then November or December? November, of course. I can't believe I'm getting it mixed up. November time, and we know it's going to have a super brand new creative mode to it. It does look like there is going to be more content as well. It's not going to be just that. So are we finally going to see the lizard, the ant queen, and more? Well, there's some other stuff here. Do bear in mind, all of this is hypotheticals. A lot of this stuff has got cut. A lot of this stuff was apparently in the shed back in the day. And I've even got some video footage of possibly the shed and some other components, all taken from models of the stuff that was inside the world. So I find this all pretty interesting. And I've labelled it last leaks because how much can I really milk this? I've shown off so much in the past, and every time I've got anything new I've talked about it, or news about potentially an update. But Grounded has gone past 1.0 now, and this next update possibly being the last one for a good few months. I can't really see being there a huge market for more leaks. Grounded have got better, the devs, at hiding their stuff in the game files, not made any more silly mistakes at releasing the dev world. So yeah, this is kind of like the last leaks video. So take everything I said with a salt. Things have changed, things may never see the light of day, but you never know, some of this stuff may make a return. Hey ratbags, quick advertisement from me for my own channels. Don't worry, I'm not going to try to sell you VPN or Manscaped. Instead, I'm just going to say, hey, I've got a couple YouTube channels you should be checking out. I've been a YouTuber a long ass time, and my original channel covers everything to do with the biggest and newest survival games and updates. Over the years, from Ark to Valheim to Sons of the Forest, if it's a brand new survival game, you'll hear about it always here on JPG Survival First. In the coming months, I'm going to be covering Return to Modia, Enshrouded, Nightingale, Valheim updates, and a lot more. So if you haven't already, go and subscribe to my main channel to keep up to date with the best games survival news. But wait, there's more! I tried doing a 100 days channel recently, and it's fair to say it didn't really take off enough. Hence why I'm moving some of that content to my JCraft channel. Instead, I made that 100 days channel into something to do with Ark. Ark is what made me a YouTuber 7-8 years ago now. I'm going to be covering it in a big way when the remaster arrives later on this month, and in the far future with Ark 2 as well. I'm going to be daily doing videos, guides, gameplay, podcasts, news videos, opinion pieces, and a lot more. So go and check out the videos already done if you're looking forward to Ark Ascended coming out and you want to know everything there is to know about it. And make sure you're subscribed to JPG Ascended. And that's it, just a little promo for me. I don't do it often. But yes, this is why sometimes I don't always have daily content on my JPG Crafted channel, because I have got an older channel and a newer channel. Don't worry, loads of stuff to do Grounded coming in the future with this update. We've got Small Land, more Core Keeper in the future. Mainly as well, I am going to start doing even more and more feature-length videos. Just like my forest video I did with my good pal Raz. Every 2 weeks on a Friday, I'm hoping to release a feature-length video. Now, let's get you back to the Grounded leaks. A clock. In fact, a grandfather clock or cuckoo clock that will be able to go in and venture in. This is the model from outside, and this is the actual insides of it. With lots of cogs and wheels. This is pretty cool. If this gets added in some way, shape or form as something as part of the shed, it'd be really interesting to see if these cogs could do some damage to you if you fell down them, or if they are moving and present some sort of quite more challenging parkour. And there's the roof, we're guessing, for the shed, with a big open entranceway. Various bits and bobs that look like they were part of the lining of stuff that was in the shed. We got the big, massive, obviously, set of shelves. We've seen from the leaked gameplay of the dev world that this is what you would be climbing up to get to the wasp nest. But obviously they moved the wasp nest into the Brawny Boy box. You can see where that paper actually came from. Got some more sort of images and shots of books and jars of maybe coloured sand. And more Polaroid pictures as well. If you dimly see it, we have got a treasure box hiding underneath the book. Kitchen sink unit by looks of things. Not too sure what this was. Maybe some sort of table. Loads of models and shots of some of the books that we do see around the backyard, although I think they have slightly different writing on them. And some yellow stick-it notes. More books. A teddy, and I do believe his name was Mr. Wriggles, apparently according to one of these shots. Mr. Snuggles, there we go, made in 1982. Hey, year I was born. And then yes, we've got like a tool bench, so you've got a saw, teddy itself, some soldering paste. And we've seen that, I believe, in the list game files for items before. A sort of weird lamp, the tool bench itself. Wouldn't it be great if there was actual proper metal sheeting that you could actually get up here, or get scraps that you could actually make metal build pieces out of? And more of the coloured sand. And that's all getting a bit drier. Then how about a rubber orb weaver? This was meant to be like a jump scare toy that could possibly fall on a player as they're running around. Obviously it looks very much like a regular orb weaver model. And how about some Trudy fish bait? Imagine if there was like a mini game, a boss fight, where you didn't attack Trudy properly, but instead you had to leave bait lying around and then maybe catch her by pressing a button on a crane that could hook her. I mean, it sounds a bit too squeamish now, killing a koi fish just to get some scales. But yeah, an interesting concept. Maybe instead you'd be taking Trudy out and putting her in another pond so that you could access something. And we've known in the past that there were all sorts of different pet hairs. This looks like a dog's bed, and we have got dog hair that's been in game files a while, and hamster hair as well. We get a slight more close-up look at the actual hamster cages that were on the shelving in the shed. I do like this idea. It would be cool if we ran into maybe the earwigs. Maybe they would jump out pretty much like antlions out at the sand roaming around in here. And a few more outside exterior shots of it. Looks of things, a wooden bird carving, maybe something to do with the cuckoo clock. A big massive chunky lock. Obviously the toolbox. Much bigger one, this one though. Some gold coins that we see, I think, littered around maybe in the pond areas. And how about this? An actual robot. I like this. Does have a very peculiar front, almost like a chalkboard. Imagine if it was just a screen. Maybe this is what transformed into the Frankenline. There's no real dials there either, so maybe it was just a traditional robot. I would love there to be some sort of junk zone in Grounded. Got a fan, admittedly with some weird stuff going on here with two fan. The umbrella stand that we've seen, and a Pebble Village lunchbox that obviously we see in the backyard, I do believe. Or is it actually only the cooler box? I can't remember, honestly. So shout out to Invite, aka Spicy. He's the one that sent me some of this stuff. And he's even got, or managed to get, or someone's got a video footage of actually going into the shed. So it would have been through possibly this pipe. And we know there's still some pipes in the backyard that aren't currently used. They're blocked up. And we've always wondered where they might take us or what they might do. Obviously things have changed. And like I said, I think all of this has probably been cancelled. We may see some elements of this return, like we saw the wasp and the wasp nest, but certainly not in the shed. I think the shed has probably been done over. And it's very weird, but this is how the models would have looked like roaming around. You can see so many different textures and stuff. And it's just a junkyard. Now, I had a theory that everyone used to crap on, that I thought the devs used to just put stuff in here, like real junk, that they would use in the rest of the backyard. So it does look like a lot of it is kind of meant to be a level where it's very vertical. As we've kind of spoken about before, Adam has said they don't want to add things like wing gliders unless there's a real reason to use something like that, where we can control our ascent more than just using the regular gliders. So you can see here, it seems to be definitely the terranium. So that's maybe where that came from. Bigger glass square one, much weirder than I thought. Perhaps that could be the home of the lizard now. And maybe it was never meant to be under the sand castle. And then obviously we've got a big look at these shelves with loads of stuff that you've seen in the backyard. Hence why I used to think that this was just a dumping spot for them to quickly drag and move stuff around to see what it was like in shapes. But yeah, probably not. And then you don't really see it, but there is obviously a wall here with a lot of this stuff hanging around the tools. And then we've got all that stuff floating in the sky. That was all on the shelving unit. So it is a very odd look. You got to, use your imagination a little bit. But I still think it's pretty interesting, especially with the jumpstart leads. And here, apparently we were meant to climb up here and then also gain access to fighting the wasps, making our way all the way up the shelving unit. And that's pretty much it. That could be the last leaks video I ever do. I debated about even showing some of this stuff because if it does end up with coming into the game, I feel a bit bad now that I'm leaking some of this stuff. I've always found it okay to show stuff off when the devs have made a mistake, like they've left stuff in the game files, and I know they're not too happy sometimes with some of that stuff coming out. But to be fair, they have really took it on the chin. Some other game companies have come down very hard on people that show stuff off. I've had to cease and desist from another game developer most recently when I was showing and talking about this stuff off. So we should never take this stuff for granted. And equally, we should never hassle devs about stuff we see, especially when it's in prototype or it's been data mined or it's just models lifted. There's no guarantee any of this is coming. And I'm sure if none of it ever did appear, devs have got a really good reason why I don't want it in their game they made. I think that's important to get across. As players, we can be quite demanding about what we want to see added to the game, but we should kind of respect and understand what the devs don't want in the game or do want in the game. But I still think it's cool to see what possibly could have appeared. I ain't gonna lie, I would love to have an interview with Adam Brennicky or some of the other game designers. I've done one in the past with a couple of them and it was great. I didn't really have enough time to speak to them properly because I was chatting to the Valheim devs as well. So Eric or Chris, if you're watching this and the other game devs don't want to kill me, if you ever want to do something and talk about Grounded in general, cancelled ideas and everything, maybe in the future, let me know. But yes, the next update is going to be big. It's going to be game changing. It's going to be massive. New ways to play, new creative custom maps by the looks of things. And fingers crossed, we're going to get a whole ton more content, I'm sure, just like all the other updates. So big salute to all, like I said, the data miners, the people that have sent me stuff over the last couple of years. It's been fun as heck. I love this stuff. And unless anything significantly gets shown off by accident again, that's it. That could be the last leaks video. Until then, bye-bye.